Hey everybody, Spider-Kel back once again for another DC Chess Collection review. Number 14 in the line, Nightwing. Nightwing was one that I was looking forward to getting, but not for the reason that I like the character, which I do. I like the character and I'll get into that in a second, but the main reason was because all of the pictures I saw and everything I saw along Nightwing showed him with this, as you can see, the red on his front. Now, as I've said so many times, I'm probably repeating myself to everyone's annoyance, I haven't got into the DC 52 yet. I haven't read anything to do with the new continuation. But as far as I am concerned, or as far as I know, Nightwing has a blue front. And I wanted to get this issue so that I could look at to why they've made him, or it looked like they'd made him with this red front. It just didn't make sense to me. It looked, for me, more like the costume that was worn in Batman and Robin by Robin, which made me hate it even more. And I just really wanted to know why they hadn't gone with the blue. Having read this comic and obviously looked into it a bit more, it makes me realise that this is how he looks now. This is, as so many of these figures have gone, they've gone with the more recent kind of interpretation, which is fine. I'm happy with that. But for me, Nightwing will always have the blue on his front, so it makes it just that little bit harder for me because it just doesn't look like Nightwing. But I'll get into that anyway. Nightwing has always been a character again that I've really liked. Because I've always liked, you know, like Dick Grayson was the first Robin. He went through, he was trained by Batman, and it just makes sense that eventually he would outgrow the Bat. He would grow up to want to do things his own way. You know, Batman probably taught him a little bit too well, and you know, the Batman was always a loner and he does things by himself, you know, and quite often would leave Robin behind and do things his own way. So maybe he taught him a bit too well, and where Dick Grayson just thought, you know what, I'm tired of living in your shadow, I want to become my own hero, and he did that, and I really like that, which opened the path obviously for new Robins to come through and for Dick Grayson to remain in the line, which was a really brilliant idea, and I've always really liked the idea of it. So yeah, so a really cool character, just always confused me with the red on the front. Obviously it makes sense now, but well, let's get into the figure. And here we have Nightwing, and overall a really nice piece. I love the stand, again, as I've discussed already with the Bishop's review. The same Bishop stand that every single one of them has. It's a really nice piece, really nicely sculpted. Not a great deal going for it, which isn't a completely bad thing because this is pretty much how Nightwing looks. It's very basic, but there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, one of my major gripes though is the red. It looks fine. It's a really nice red. It's a really nice colour. This is all. Every time I'm going to mention this, bear in mind this is my personal sort of thought on this. It doesn't bear any reflection on the figure itself. It's just my personal opinion. So we'll get into it. I'll try not to let that get in the way of this review too much, but we'll see. The face itself, I think that's one of the best face sculpts. Well, maybe not one of the best, but one of the better face sculpts that we have. It's let's bring the light in a little bit more here. There we go. It's definitely one of the better ones. A really good face sculpt. Very simple, very basic. Just what you need, really. It's not over the top. It's just it's about right, you know. I like how we have his sweeping hair coming across the side here. Again, mask with no pupils. Really nice paint mold here on the face. I mean, there's not much to say, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It's good. It's a good sort of colouring. The costume itself, we do have these hints of blue going through it. On his gloves, up here, on his neck piece, and as I'll point out later on, but on his boots. Which for me just, again, makes me think, if they're going to go with blue in there, why go with red up there? that just doesn't go. It's weird. It just looks weird for me. Aside from that, it's a really nice sculpt. As I said before, it's very basic. You know, there's not a great deal to it, but what they have done with it is kind of like give a little bit of detail. And as I said, with the blue in there, and then we have his arms all the way through his body, through his torso. We have little bits of kind of details inside them. You know, and it's very difficult to kind of talk about a figure like this, because it is just quite basically a solid black figure all the way throughout, with just a couple of bits of defining colour. But that, again, doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad figure. It's just a case of, this is how Nightwing looks. What more can you do with it, really? I do like how they have him posed holding his two batons. Not batons. What the hell? Baton. Jeez. Not batons. His two sticks. His fighting sticks. I do like how... batons. Bloody hell. I can't believe I said that. Yeah, it's two fighting sticks. I do really like that. And let's be honest, that's all you can say about this, apart from the fact that it is a bishop piece. So it's a huge support to the king in a game of chess, which is a really good choice. I mean, the idea of making Nightwing into a bishop to support Batman is... it's just ideal, because yes, Nightwing became a loner, but he always came back to support Batman, the same as Batman went to support Dick in different situations. And then when Batman was presumed dead and Damian took over the role as Robin, there was only one person really that you could have to take over as Batman, and that is Dick Grayson. So yeah, it makes sense that he would be at Batman's side as the bishop. And that's a really, really cool. I really like that they did that. Let's be honest, that's all you can say without repeating myself. You know, it's a really nice sculpt, a really nice design. There's not really a great deal wrong with it. It's just that they've obviously gone with the variation that he is, and there's not a great deal you can do with it. So given that limitation, they've done a very nice job. It's just the red. I honestly... in complete honesty as well, I am contemplating the idea of painting this blue, just because I'd be happier with that. Nightwing to me has blue on. I mean, I know he's red now, that's all fine, but for me it's not Nightwing unless it's a blue one. So I am contemplating doing that. If I do decide to do that, I'll put a video up and show you all what it looks like. I haven't quite decided yet, but we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can talk about, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review. I shall be back again soon for the next one. Until then, take care, and I'll see you soon.
The Iceman cometh!